And we're back. How's it going, Malik?
It's going well. It's going well. We're here to talk about some tabletop games. I'm excited.
Super duper excited. We're here with Andreas with Steve Jackson Games.
Hi, guys.
Now, okay, you just told us off camera while we were doing a little pre-interview type stuff, you have been with Steve Jackson for what, since 2012?
Since 2012, yeah, spring of 2012.
That is awesome. So do you always come to PAX then?
I've been going since 2013.
That is awesome. It's longer than I have. I think my first one was 2014. Okay, so Steve Jackson Games is part of the, they make the cult classic Munchkin. So now the cool thing about Munchkin is that you have all of these different variations now because it is such a cult classic crowd favorite. So let's kind of do a slow pan here and show some of the different ones we have. You want to kind of point and list them off for us?
Yeah.
Sure. So we've got Munchkin Shakespeare is one of our newest ones out right now. Munchkin Rick and Morty, which is the first rated R Munchkin.
Ooh, okay,
Nice.
all right.
Cool.
We got to talk about that for a second. This looks amazing. We got the Webble of a Dub hashtag. Oh my goodness, I want to swoop in there and steal a card to show. Yeah, just get in real close just on the card right there. Oh, I'm so sorry, I'm stealing your card. I'm so sorry. Look at that.
There you go. Look at that.
Okay, don't tell anybody what's on the back of that because that's very secret. Don't want to ruin this guy's name or this guy's game. Okay, so Rick and Morty, which of course I'm super excited about. Yeah. What else do we have?
We have got Munchkin Pathfinder, which has been around for a little while. We have Zombie Dice 4th Edition, which is our new version of Zombie Dice that has all the expansions together with it. We have the Batman Dice game, which is kind of Zombie Dice on steroids. You're playing Batman villains. What else? Hold on, let me look. We've got more Munchkin. We've got Muertunes, which is a newer game that should be shipping in a couple of weeks.
Lead your friends to the Dia de los Muertos celebration. That sounds
Munchkin
fun.
Munchkin Booty Guest Artist Edition, which also just came out. We've been doing guest artist editions for the last year or so in celebration of the 15 years of Munchkin.
Well, 15 years. I did not realize they'd been around for that long.
Yeah, and so that's actually I think that's the last of the guest artist editions that's coming out.
Awesome. So many games. So what's your personal favorite? I'm going to ask you, yeah.
What's my personal favorite game that we make? So I currently have in my bag a copy of Simon's Cat card game. And I take that thing with me everywhere. If I'm waiting on food at the restaurant or just waiting in line somewhere, it's a great little fast, easy game.
That is high praise. Okay, so you guys have a new game that's about to launch on Kickstarter on September 13th. That's less than 2 weeks.
Less than 2 weeks.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure thing. So it's called Conspiracy Theory. It's something that Steve Jackson himself has been cooking up for a little while. It is basically Illuminati meets apples to apples, Cards Against Humanity kind of a style thing. Essentially it's one person picks a conspiracy, the other people try to finish it as best as possible. Whoever does best gets the card, that kind of a thing.
That sounds hilarious.
That sounds really cool. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So what are some of the other things that you have noticed, like over the years of you being at PAX and all these games? How has the tabletop games shared the space with now PC games and console games? Like, how do you see it in the bigger picture?
Tabletop games has generally been kind of a sideline event at PAX shows for a little while. I think they're still really important. Number one is that they're such a great social family kind of a thing. The other thing also is that it's great for sort of getting a bang for your buck. So you buy one game for $25, you have a lot of replayability. It's something you can play with the family for a while, friends, you have game nights. You know, you buy one video game, it's $60, and you have one playthrough, and then you're pretty much done with it. So I think board games are definitely becoming an important thing as far as the culture. In fact, we're going to be at PAX Unplugged in November as well, and we're really looking forward to that. That's the new PAX.
Yeah, this is the first that I'm really hearing any of the details about it. So where is that taking place? Do you know?
It's going to be in Philadelphia.
It's going to be a little chilly.
Yeah, I don't remember the exact date, but yeah, it's going to be cold. I'm going to have to get some wool socks.
Yeah, I think we all get used to Boston though for PAX East. So
okay.
yeah, just take all your PAX East gear.
Yeah, I should. In fact, that was the last time I bought wool socks, was PAX East. So it was 7, I think, when I was
7
there.
degrees.
7.
Okay, so we have the newest, you were saying Munchkin Shakespeare is the newest one, right?
Yes.
Okay, let's take a look at a couple of these cards and maybe some of these game pieces here. So of course you've got the little characters. Oh my goodness, they're
Spear,
little
I think is what we're calling him.
Spike Spear. Okay, little
Spike
tiny,
Spear, and then,
tiny guy. Okay, blue is
And-
my
and
favorite color.
Flower Spear are the
The mixer
little,
color. So
It is the mixer
love
color.
blue.
We've got a lot of
Okay.
great references from Shakespeare in there, in
Okay.
as much as the doors. There's a lot of interesting items in there as well that
got
are
bards.
references to Shakespeare
Oh, here we go.
plays.
Fake your death. That happens a lot in Shakespeare. Okay, the card says, play when you're losing a combat. Before you roll to run away, the monsters assume you've succumbed to plot convenience and move on. Okay, so that's great. You can fake your death. Oh, this one is get thee to a nunnery. Of course, I would draw this card. All right, these look awesome. This is really beautifully constructed.
So good.
Yeah, so that's been brand new. We did a Kickstarter for that as well. It actually started as a concept on the Joko Cruise, I think 2015, something like that. It started as a panel, and people were throwing out card ideas, and Steve and Andrew were there just taking the ideas. So there's a lot of fan-created cards in this set as well, which is one of the things that makes it really cool.
That is something I do love about the games industry, is how often fans and communities and audiences end up getting to have input into games, especially when you're dealing with a smaller game studio or something like a tabletop that gets kickstarted. And
Yeah, the Kickstarter is an important part. You have fans who are fans of your work,
Right.
funding the game. How does that feel to have that kind of support?
I think it's wonderful. I think that's one of the wonderful things about the tabletop industry is the accessibility. Anybody can get a hold of their game designer. Anybody can be part of the forums. I have a good friend of mine who is a game designer now, who started as a rabid forums member. And he just kind of worked his way up, and they included him in a book, and now he's designing his own games. And so, I mean, it's something you can get into. Anybody can kickstart their own game nowadays. You don't need to be hired by some large company in order to create your own product. And I think that's really exciting. So there's a lot of these ideas coming in here that that you wouldn't get in any other industry because of the barriers that are normally present.
so I think something else that's really interesting is you're the volunteer coordinator for Steve Jackson, and I think volunteering for an event like a PAX is actually a great way for somebody to get their foot in the door in the games industry. So, do you have a tip for somebody who's just like, oh man, I would love to work in games, but I have no idea where to start?
Good question.
Oh, that is actually a really good question. Yeah, volunteering is a good way to do it. Actually, we have actually hired quite a few people who have volunteered for us in the Austin area, people will get to know you. If they get to know that you're a dependable person, that you have certain skills, that kind of thing, then that's a good way to get started, for sure.
That is some awesome feedback there, and you guys are Austin-based, of course.
Yes. So what do you I know there are a lot of different variants to a lot of these games. What do you think makes, this is an interesting question, what do you think makes a good tabletop player? Do you have,
What makes a good tabletop player?
Yeah.
Oh man, you're gonna make me think about that for a while. I think it's somebody that's a good sport. Like that is the hardest thing. There's a lot of people that are really good at games, but they're jerks, and nobody wants to play with those people. And I'm fine playing with somebody who wins all the time if they're gracious about it.
Don't be that guy.
Yeah, it's all about just having sort of the making a good experience for everybody, and I think that's the best player in any kind of game. So.
Learn some good lessons here.
Oh yeah. Okay. So you've been, doing this for, you said 12.
5 years.
5 years? Okay. What has been what's your favorite event every year?
What's my favorite? Believe it or not, and it's going to sound like a total cliche, is I actually love PAX.
Yeah.
I love PAX. I have some of my favorite volunteers here. It's just a great kind of chill show for us. This is an interesting space. It's not one of our normal booths, so it allows us to do some stuff that we don't normally do. Yeah, I really do enjoy the show quite a bit.
Awesome. Well, I think that is it for us right now. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us and show us all these amazing game pieces and cards. And we will hopefully see you at PAX Unplugged.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Looking forward to it.
Thank you so much.
Bye.